y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Unpack the Gifted. This is my very first segment, Unpack the Gifted, and I am so freaking excited. You hear me? But I got a very special guest on with me today. Her name is Tahlor with an H. I'm going to let her do the introduction.
Hello, so I am a suburban Chicago native. Yes, I am Tahlor with the H. You can follow me on Instagram at The Therapy Collection and also Sina Divi Birth Services. But we're going to get more into that, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. She knew we was going to dig right into that. But before we get into that, I just, because I was curious, I'm like, where is she from? Because whenever I hear about people doing good things around the city, I'm curious to know, like, are they from the city? Did they move to the city? Like, just give my audience a little bio about you, where you from, where you grew up.
So I've lived in a lot of places in the suburbs. Started off living in Harvey. Then from there, moved to Riverdale, then Sauk Village. Then from Sauk Village, went to University Park, then Tinley Park. From Tinley Park, went to Orland Park. From Orland Park, I went to South Holland. From South Holland, I lived in California for 3 years. Came back in 2016, Linwood. Right now, I'm actually staying between the suburbs and North Chicago. It's a lot. So I'm a person that likes to move around. So within my lifestyle, I'm like hearing that I don't like to be stable. That's not me. I'm not a stable person, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I don't have a family. I'm single. It's single. Have fun. But yeah, so I've been like all over Chicago, mostly the suburbs. I love Chicago. I love the city. I'm happy that I'm able to experience now because I wasn't when I was younger. But yeah, I'm 24, going to be 25 in August. I'm a Virgo. Let's see, what else can I say? I don't know. I'm gonna let you ask some more questions so I can say a little bit more.
Now I want to dig into it. I already had it written down, so I got my script right here. But so you're a certified doula. A certified doula. This is the main reason why I brought you on the show. Like when we met and you said that, you spoke up, you were very vocal. So I'm like, I'm gonna invite her. So tell my audience what a doula is, how you got into it, and what keeps you going in being a doula.
So I got certified in 2018. I actually went to Florida to get trained because I couldn't find anything in Chicago or closer. And from there, I actually started the business in 2019. And how I got involved in it, my sister, she was like, you're going to be here for my birth, and you're just going to be my advocate because I know like you about the lifestyle that I'm about. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna be making the baby food, whatever. But the day that she actually went into labor, of course it was earlier than we expected. So she went into labor. I was unable to make it because I was actually working, and I was just like, oh my god, okay, just stay calm, like texting her back and forth when I can. And come to find out, she ended up having an emergency C-section where she said she doesn't want a C-section no matter what happened, like no C-section, and they like basically forced her to have a C-section. After the C-section, like she kind of blanked out for a minute. She told them she didn't want her baby to have no vaccinations. Woke up, baby had like every vaccination that you could get a child. And I was like, okay, hold on, this is what really seeing it from a second person standpoint, as like you hear stories, but it's like, oh no, this is real. So I don't even remember. I think it was it St. Mary's? I don't even remember. It was one of the hospitals out here in Chicago. I don't even remember the name of it. And I was like, this isn't real. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to see what I could do because I'm like, they're really doing this in the hospital. And I just started researching, and I was like, a doula. And I was like, I need to do that. Now, a lot of people get doula and midwife mixed up. A doula is someone who emotionally, physically, and mentally helps mom. So like an advocate, giving her the resources that's needed just in case something happens or just to get her aware. A midwife is actually going down there in the vagina, pulling the baby out, cutting if they need to, giving shots if they need to, an IV, like all of that. I have a phobia with needles, so I can't do that. I can't cut you up and sew you and make sure that you I'll be here like, okay, what do you need me to do? You need me to research? You need me to find you something? Or listen, this is this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm actually looking forward to growing my business. I actually want to get out of the physical standpoint, even though I just started, but I'm more so of like a straight business person. Like, let me just invest, help other people. I learned basically to help other people so I can have other doulas under my wing. And when I went to get trained, it was certain stuff about that whole situation that I didn't really like. So I was like, okay, I'm going to add this to my brand. You know, I also want to do teachings to help other people get certified. So that's another goal. If you guys are want to, you know, become a doula, let me know. But yeah, it's just something that's really needed in the birth field, like totally. And I don't even have kids, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm like really an advocate for having a birth that you want. We're supposed to be in water. We're supposed to have a natural birth. We don't need to be connected to no needles. It's sometimes that you do need it. That's understandable, but pushing it, no, like have the birth that you want to, but also educate yourself. If you don't educate yourself, I mean, how do you expect for the birth to go? So that's why we create birth plans. A birth plan is something that is going to let you know exactly what it is that you want. So do you want an epidural? Do you want an IV? Do you want to be in a hospital? Do you want to be in a birthing center? Do you want a C-section? How many people do you want in the room with you? Do you want lights on? You want lights off? Do you want aromatherapy? Do you want soothing music? I mean, the list goes on of the things that you can do to get your birth the correct way, and all births are different. I mean, the list goes on. So I have exactly 10 pages of a list that I have my clients fill out. Fill all of this out. I need to know verbatimly what it is that you want. Okay, we're going to make a copy, give it to your doctor, and if they can't abide by your rules, you do have a right to say, okay, well, let me switch doctors, let me switch hospitals. Even if it's the day before, that's okay, because this is the birth that you want, and you deserve to have the birth that you want. You're bringing a whole child in here. You don't deserve to go through trauma, because whatever you feel, your child is feeling. So you bring in trauma to your child, and now your child is damn near birth with trauma, and they don't even know why they crying.
So, for real, and I felt that, and as you were explaining, it kind of made me think about young mothers. Like I had my daughter at 21. That's still fairly young, but I'm thinking about like 15, 14, 16, that age range. Do you see any young mothers like that? And if you do, like, are they aware of that type of support that's out there? Because I'm ignorant to it, and I'm 26. So if I'm 26, I could imagine quite naturally that somebody younger than me may not know. And having a baby is
It's the closest thing to that.
it's scary. It's so scary. So can you explain like an encounter? Have you had an encounter with a younger person as being a doula? Okay, can you explain that for me?
So actually, my first client was my age, and it was somebody I went to high school with. And I basically like told her ahead of time when I found out she was pregnant. That's what I do. If I find out you're pregnant, I'm either handing you a business card, I'm coming to you, talking to you, like letting you know you need a doula, and this is why. Like I don't have no shame in my game. But it's something that it's still. I mean, I feel like it's on the rise, but a lot of people don't really know about it. I know our parents and our grandparents. They like, what is a doula? What? This is something that just came up because I ain't never heard of this. And I'm like, no, actually, when you think about it, back in the day, we couldn't even go to the hospitals. Black people had to have kids at home. That's what we used to do, and we just so unmindful that this is how we used to birth at home in the comfort of our surroundings, our community. When they say it takes a community to raise a child, that's true. Like you need your sisters, your auntie, your grandma. Everybody needs to be in that room until that child gets grown, and the cycle keeps going. Because a lot of people don't understand that. You're in your right mind, but you're just like really dealing with stuff as you're about to like give birth, and you need somebody there to give you a towel. You need somebody there to rub your back and tell you, no, keep going, it's okay, breathe. Like sometimes you forget to breathe. It's just like the normal stuff that you aren't used to. You have to get reminded. You need the father there to be like, come on, baby, you could do this, or whoever that's in your group that supports you. And I also do ceremonies. So I do a ceremony for the mother before she have the baby. I do a ceremony for the mother and the baby after the baby is born. Like all of that is needed. You need a little TLC. You need to be shown that I love you. You need to be shown that it's okay. You did a wonderful job. Even if your birth doesn't go the way that you planned, we still here, and we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it going. I also encourage mothers to do lotus births, where you keep the placenta attached to the baby until the placenta falls off itself. Yes.
Let me get to that. Nah, she on point, because look, that was the next question. Cause I read something. I had to do my research. So on your Instagram, and it made me feel so ignorant. And it's okay sometimes to be ignorant as long as you educate yourself. But it made me feel so ignorant because it said, do not let them cut the umbilical cord as soon as the baby is born. Give it some time because they missing nutrients, oxygen. It was mineral. everything. So what? It just make me think, what happened? How did we become so disconnected to how things used to be to how things are now? Like, do you know anything about what happened? Like, and then talk about and then talk and then talk about the situation with giving birth, like, and then eating the placenta. But we're gonna get to that later because I want to talk about that, like, bad self. But right now I just want to know about like cutting the umbilical cord and allowing the nutrients and everything. Just talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So the umbilical cord is actually loaded with minerals. That's actually how the baby gets his food. That's like anything that the mother takes in, that the umbilical cord is basically like the travel path to the baby. So it's filled with a lot of even the blood flow, the blood cells, like everything that the baby needs is within that umbilical cord. So when you cut it, you're actually cutting off the oxygen. You're actually cutting off the necessary minerals. Like if you actually pay attention to umbilical cord, like after the baby is done, the umbilical cord still has a pulse. It has a pulse that's going through. It has tubes and the whole connection. Like that's just basically like its own little feeding tube, I guess you could say. So as soon as you cut it, I mean, you cutting off the rest of the minerals that it needed to go on to the next level of being on Earth. So when they say, oh, the baby needs vaccinations and needs this and needs that, the baby could get that from the placenta. So when the mom actually allows the placenta to sit there until it's fall off, not, okay, let's let it sit for 7 to 10 to 15 minutes. No, allow it. If it takes a week, 2 weeks, sit your butt in the house with your child and allow your child to get the minerals that's needed. The placenta is connected for a reason. So, no, the placenta, mothers give birth twice. So you give birth to the baby, and then the placenta comes out like minutes later, and then like it's connected. So like when they cut the placenta, that's why I don't know how did you give birth, but you'll hear. Okay, well, with the cesarean, like they went back in your stomach and pulled out the placenta and took it on about their business. So placentas, they're worth a lot of money. Like they get, so they're like doing tests. I don't know like what all they do behind, but they're doing like a lot of stuff with placentas that's helping with the medicine of today. Like that's all basically that's what they do is go back into the birth. Like, oh, let's take your placenta, or your placenta was bad, or this and that. Or a lot of mothers just don't know. Okay, yeah, they take the placenta. I don't know what I need this for. No, keep it. You could. I always tell my clients you could plant it. So we could do a plant and have to plant in your front room or your child's room, or I actually know how to encapsulate it. So it's this process where it's like a double boiler, and you just basically like dry the placenta out and turn it into like herb and put it in a capsule and you take it. So that actually helps with giving the nutrients back to mom, but also while she's breastfeeding is giving the baby back its nutrients that's needed. So, I mean, the placenta is amazing. The whole body itself, giving birth is like next level, and a lot of people don't know. So I'm like, okay, let me raise awareness on this that is needed. It's really needed. And I always try to push, and I don't want to seem like a harsh doula or I know everything. No, I'm going to just let you know your resources, and I'm going to give it to you the way that it's needed so you could think like, you know what? I didn't even know that this did this. Let me keep this. Let me let them know, we taking this home. So yeah, actually I tell the parents, bring in a styrofoam, get dry ice, and we wrap the placenta up. I actually get a placenta bag that we could carry out. So if you do get it cut, you know, we can actually, because the hospital doesn't let you leave with the placenta attached. So if you have your child in the hospital, they're going to cut it and tell them that they do allow you to keep it, thank God. And we say, yeah, we're just taking the placenta home. And I don't think a lot of them don't really ask, but if they do ask, I mean, tell them what you want. It's yours. It's my body. Right. I'm taking it home. Right.
Wow. I'm so deep in conversation, I'd have bust out the fruit snacks because I'm just in tune. I'm just in tune, like for real. Now, it's been like a lot of controversy around people seeing, and I feel like people should mind their business, but people seeing mothers breastfeed. And that's one thing that I really regret not doing. I did it with my baby for a while, for probably like 2 weeks, and I stopped. And she's very smart, and I don't know if it has something to do with the breastfeeding or not, but could you talk a little bit about breastfeeding, like how long and stuff like that?
So when I become a mother, I want to breastfeed my child until they just like, you know what, I don't even want this milk no more. I'm not going to lie to you. Because why do we go from the breast to a cow's milk? I mean, just think about it. And they put milk in every single thing. When you think about it, they put milk in everything. So when you breastfeed, it's like a connection with your baby. Even if your baby gets sick, they get a runny nose. Do you know that your milk change colors to give your child the necessary nutrients to help your child heal while you're breastfeeding that child? Amazing. So actually breastfeeding your child, they're getting DNA. Everything is like a frequency and a download. So they're getting downloads from your body. So what you eating, your child eating. If you drinking, smoking, whatever, I mean, it's going into your child. If you eating junk food, the junk food is going into your child. So it's really important to actually get the necessary nutrients. So I actually partnered up with Alkaline Healing Herbs, and they actually make the prenatals. It's all organic herbs, and the mother takes it throughout her pregnancy, and she takes it after she has her child. So she's getting the necessary nutrients before, during, and after her pregnancy, and the baby is able to get a good flow. So it's really important to eat the necessary foods like green foods, smoothies. You kind of want to lay off meat, but basically going to the more alkaline or organic foods so your milk flow could go. That's all it's about, is just the milk flow. And sometimes your supply may stop, pump, or like play with your nipple or anything that you got to do, and it's going to start back up. So a lot of moms like get discouraged, like, oh, my milk supply is low, I'm done breastfeeding. And that's the moment where it really counts. I think that's just like a level of endurance, like your body telling you, okay, how much you want it. I mean, because nothing in life is free, even with work or anything else. We gotta work hard. So it's just something that you gotta put some work behind it. Nothing comes freely. And sometimes that's your own body telling you, or maybe your body saying, okay, let's rest for a while. But you can also make your own breast milk. If you guys want to know, go to my Instagram page. I need some more followers. Go follow and see the ingredients to make your own breast milk. No, seriously. And right. So I'm against formula, and I just want to say this because it's metal and other stuff that they put in there. It's basically like lab-produced milk. Or you go from breast milk to like cows or goat's milk. I'm not really with all of that. That causes with congestion, but I know mothers are going to do what they want to do. But I'm just, speaking my piece. Just try it. Try making your own milk and see if your baby likes it. If they don't, okay, that's understandable. If it was up to me, I would allow another mother to breastfeed my child if I couldn't. If I know, her history, or going to they have even milk donation banks that you can go to and get milk, or people just donate their milk to people, or some people buy it. Because milk I have this list, it's over like 53 remedies that breast milk can do. Help with rashes, runny nose, sores, red eye, scars, the list goes on. And I'm like, when they say that's liquid gold, it's liquid gold for real. Like breast milk really heals, and it's something that needs to be encouraged. And I am happy that it's the pumps are included with the insurance, but it needs to be more awareness raised on it, and I feel like that's going to come later on in this year. I'm open to actually doing classes and teachings and talking, but of course I want a team behind me because I only know so much. And people may think I know a lot, and I'm like, it's a lot out there that I don't even know, and I'm trying to touch, or I can conversate with somebody else and they can, assist me and say, woo, 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 and I'm like, okay, let's tell them. I hope that answered your question.
No, for a fact. But my one last question to that point, what's the age limit? Is there an age? I mean, I know you said...
Don't limit. Now, I understand you could go from your baby is teething, your child is teething, and you're like, okay, now I'm getting sore nipples and I'm getting scrapes. Pump and just, get a child a cup of your milk. I mean, just keep it going. While you produce, I say, as long as you're producing, keep giving it to your child. Milk it does help with the brain development and the overall body. I'm sure it probably prevents some type of sicknesses, and I'm sure it does. As we get older, how we get some type of colds and headaches. It prevents all of that. So just keep giving it. I mean, I'm like, dang, if my mom was still, nursing, I would, Mom, let me get a cup of milk today. I'm serious, because it's like it's liquid gold and it's really needed. Or if you're gonna stop the milk, stop it altogether. Don't switch to another type of milk. Or if you do cashew or almond. I mean, there's so many other milks that derive from nuts and others type of stuff. Go that route,
So that just reminded me of so I want to get into the world, because of course with all of this is going to be somebody that has a rebuttal, and the rebuttal isn't always positive. It'll be like, well, I like my babies like Similac, all my kids raised on Similac, so like everybody had a problem when T and Tamara, the twins off Sister. I forgot which one had the baby, and one of them tasted the other one's breast milk, and the internet went up. Like they was like, that's disgusting, that's nasty, that's your sister breast milk, and it's like, but to you, is that unnatural?
It's not unnatural to me, but society isn't aware of it. Like we don't know, we're not used to that, so it's something we're not used to. Of course, everybody's going to go against the grain. Everybody's going to voice their opinion. I mean, that's what social media is for anyway. It's for everybody to voice their opinion. How you feel about this? Okay, you got 10,000 people over here saying it's wrong, but you got the 200 people over here that know what's really going on, and they like, I mean, y'all don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not against it. I like I said, if my mom was still nursing today, I would still drink her milk. Yes. Like, let me get a cup today because got a little sniffles, you know.
Oh no, I feel that definitely for a fact. But so I checked out your Facebook, and you were saying something about surrogate mothers, and it shocked me because I'm not trying to pry too deep, but like, why would you want a surrogate mother? Why wouldn't you want to be like? It's girl, it's beautiful, but just explain that a little bit, like.
Okay, so I'm open to it. I'm not like 100% sure, but I do I have like a couple of people that I talk to, and I'm like, if I want to surrogate, would you have my child? And they say, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, that's something to keep on a, back burner. But no, seriously, like some people don't want to go through the process of just being pregnant. Like I'm open to it, but it's just like what I think about, I don't know, like I'm really hardcore on work. Money, like I have to, and I'm a full entrepreneur. I don't have a 9-to-5, so it's like if I get pregnant and I stop, not saying that the father's not going to be there, but what am I to do? So that's just something that's on my head, because if I do become pregnant, I'm not working those 9 months. I'm not doing a thing. That's the point where I will have other people that's like working within my brands, and I'm just like somebody like Walmart or Target or Ford, like they got other people working for them. They sitting on their ass. I mean, they come through meetings and stuff, but that's the point that I want to be at, where I could just like sit down and be like, I want to enjoy my pregnancy. If I'm going to have a pregnancy, I want to really enjoy it. I want to really like be at like a retreat, or like, I want to do it like really like self-caring, like seriously. I feel like mothers should not work while they're pregnant, or they need like a year or two, maybe even 3 years off after they have their child. I mean, it's needed. The things that you go through, just the whole duration, the activities, the actions, the thoughts, like postpartum. Yeah. So if and okay. Let me finish this first. So it's kind of funny because I do want 6 kids. I have six kids names that's filled out, and I don't have one, and I'm about to be 30, and I said I want to be done by 30, but Lord willing, I'm gonna let universe handle that. But no, seriously, or some people that can't even have kids and they want to surrogate. I'm for it, but I had a conversation with someone one day, and we had a long conversation over it, and it kind of like had my mind thinking. So she said, when you allow another woman to carry your child, that child has that DNA. And it's probably more so the surrogate's DNA than your own. And I'm like, whoo, that's deep. And then it's like, or you have a surrogate that you don't really know, you hire somebody, and they are attached to the child. Let's think of like Kim Kardashian, and we don't know who their surrogates are, if it's family or not. How is that person feeling? Like, do you allow your kids to continue to go to that person to get breastfed, or are they just sending you milk? Do you allow that person to bond with that child? Like, that's deep. And when I thought about that, I was like, okay, you know what? I might just go ahead and have my own kids. I'm just going, right. Everybody else that I know have did it. Let me just go ahead and just, because that's deep. So postpartum. It has a lot to do with diet and also just the way that we live our life. Like I said, women don't deserve to work. I think from the time that you want to start to have kids to when your body's fully healed. Your body doesn't 100% heal back to its original state, but you need to be resting at least up to, I say, a month. Rest a month of doing absolutely nothing. Get up. I mean, you can cook, do a little bit. Even doulas, we come in and we could cook, clean. You need us to run errands. You want us to handle some business. I mean, I had a friend of mine. She had went back 6 weeks after she had her child, and I had her child for 6 weeks. So I was a mom for 6 weeks, and I was like, oh my God, I have much more respect for moms. Because, I mean, I was up, changing diapers, playing with her, making sure she eating. She actually sent breast milk, so I had to put the dates on there and, give her the oldest milk to, like, the newest date, and then you wait. It was, like, amazing. But like, moms are supposed to, like, wait. Like, kids, they need 100% attention. Like, ain't no, let me be right back, or let me go ahead and finish this real quick. No, when that baby start crying and when that baby wake up, world stop. Let me go ahead and tend to my child. So postpartum, that's like the most crucial time where your brain is actually, telling your body what to do. So if you're stressing, your body not even healing to its full extent. Let's say that you had a C-section, your wounds need to heal. And it's actually like 7 to 8 layers of skin that they cut when you have a C-section. A lot of people don't know that. So you need to allow all of those layers to heal. And sometimes they don't. If you bend it down, picking up stuff, I got to do this because I ain't got no help. If you need help and you just had a child, ask for it. If you need to have a savings, save up to get a doula, save up to hire somebody, like, or if people volunteering is needed, like, don't deny that, because your body really needs to heal, and your brain is telling your body what to do. But if your brain not even functioning because you stressing, it's trying to recuperate. Like, it's just a lot.
I know it is for a fact, but it's all necessary information that I feel like my audience needs to know, and everybody that is a mother, aspiring to be a mother, or that is currently pregnant, y'all need to know this. We all need to know this. As a community, like you say, it takes a village to raise a child, and that's a fact. But my last segment will be the crystals and the sage. Because, like, I was just asking you, were you a spiritual person and when you started the spiritual journey? So I just want you to, let me journey with you as you reminisce on how you started it, how it came about, and how it ended. And don't forget the crystals and the sage.
Okay, so my journey started off in 2014. My mom, she was just like, telling me about, I don't know, she was just telling me about like African spirituality and this and that. I don't even know how it came up. Like, she just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay. I always been a fan of like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, but I didn't really understand it. But I love their music and I love their style. I knew that I was attracted to it in some way, but I didn't really understand it. So 2014 was when she had to talk with me, and I'm like, now, once somebody, I this happened to every single person that I have talked to and raised their awareness. If anybody come to you and discuss any type of spirituality with you and you just like brush it off, I guarantee you within a week or two time, you're going to have some downloads and you're going to be like, wait a minute, this is familiar. And it's crazy how it happened, because that's how it happened to me. I was watching TV one day at my grandfather's house, and I was just like, just still clicking and trying to understand and watching TV, and like it was like some spiritual stuff that came on TV, and I'm like, they're showing this on TV. How come I never noticed it? But that's because my third eye was raised to, about the third eye. Okay, so the third eye is right here, your pineal gland, and it's just the eyes that you don't use to actually see, but you actually use it to like for like intentions, or to like receive downloads, or to just like gravitate to information. So my third eye was beaming, and I'm just like, okay, let me try it out. I'm a person, I'm open. Like I told you, I move around. So I'm open to like, okay, let me try this out and see what's going to work. If it ain't going to work, I'm not going to regret it. I'm going to just be like, oh, it didn't work. But I just kept, it was funny. On license plates, when I always went outside, I always see New York. Okay, so every time I went outside, the license plates was New York. And every time I watched TV, it was California this, come to California. You know how they do the little travel TVs, the travel commercials. So I was like, okay, either New York or New York or California. And my sister was there with me. And I'm like, you seeing what I'm seeing? So I turned her onto it. I was like, Jesus is fake. We're not supposed to do religion. She's like, what are you talking about? We just went to church last week. I'm like, I can't tell you. You just got to come over. I got some stuff to tell you. And she was like, oh, my God, what's going on? So we took it up on ourselves and went to California, drove my car to California. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm really leaving my family. Nobody knew where we were for 3 weeks. We didn't get on social media. We was like, we got to come out here. And we went to California on a spiritual journey, y'all. We didn't come to California to say, let's settle down. Let's go get a job. Let's start our career. It was really a spiritual journey. And I was like, what am I doing? But it felt so good. And I more than what am I doing, it was more so, oh my God, let me enjoy this. I'm really like on a spiritual journey. So we driving in the mountains. You may think I sound crazy, but I swear this is real. So we on the road and we looking at the mountains. The mountains are humans. I swear to God. You see faces and bodies and nose. I swear to God, y'all. And it was just like, I'm like, what is going on? Is this real? And it was because it took us 2 days and some hours to get there. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, we're really on a spiritual journey. We would look up in the sky. The clouds are like people smiling and familiar faces. It's family that have passed away. It's ancestors. I'm like, universe, what's really going on? I'm not crazy. Yeah. When we went on this journey, I smoke weed, y'all. So we went on this journey. I said, we're not smoking. Like, we're like really like intentionally trying to get the spiritual elevation. And we did without no drinking, no smoking, no nothing. So we get there, enjoyed it, just talking to people, and we gravitating towards people that's telling us more information. Like while we walking, somebody stopping us, hey, you're not from here, are you? Like they know, you're not from here, are you? No, we from California. Okay, be careful about this, be careful about that. But also, something is telling me, you guys need to do light work. Don't work hard, just allow things to come to you. And I'm like, universe, you like really speaking to me. And I'm like, I've experienced a more spiritual life being spiritual than I did religion. So now I'm to the point, before I was like, oh my God, people who, believe in religion, forget them. I'm about to cut family off. I mean, I went through a whole ordeal. My family is hardcore Christians. They didn't call me the devil, said I've been on drugs, crack. The only thing I ever tried was weed, but I've been on other stuff, and shrooms. We're going to have to talk about shrooms and other stuff. But I'm like, no, I'm not even like that. I'm just a spiritual person, just trying to live my life and trying to, live for what's comfortable for me. So now I'm to the point where I'm just like totally open to whatever you want to believe in. Just, don't brush it on me. Or if you want to know something, allow me to talk about it and we go from there. Or I'm going to sit and let you talk about it. Like some Sunday, like once or twice out of the year, I go to church with my grandparents just because they want me to go. But they respect me now for what I believe in. They finally know, oh my God, you're not in the call. It's not the devil. No, I'm just trying to connect to earth. I just want to connect to the universe. I want to connect more to people. I want to heal my trauma. That's the number one thing. And that's why I started the therapy collection, started off as a water therapist. I really want to be the person to heal people's trauma. I went through a lot of trauma growing up. The number one thing I've dealt with was abandonment. And that's why I'm so unattached, which is bad and good. So I can deal with you, but I'm good with just not talking to you for a year or two. And we could come back together like, yo, what's up? How you been? Yeah, we got into it a couple of years ago, but I'm good now. What's going on? Or if it ain't meant for us to reconnect, that's okay. I got into crystals and sage, I would say probably 2015. It was like a year after that. And it was just really me understanding, like, I'm like, what is the earth about? Like, what does the world have to offer us? Like, I know, like, herbs help us, and, water, it helps us get hydrated and things like that. So what is it that, what else can I learn? So I got into crystals, knowing about like what they do spiritually, emotionally, physically. Like some of them help with blood flow, some of them help with your immune system, some of them help with your mindset. Some of them help to tighten your vagina. That's why I have the yoni eggs. I mean, hey, they work all over. Help with your chakras, balancing. So I got really heavy into that, and I'm like, oh my God, like people need to become more aware of this. And people just, oh my God, what you got rocks? Why you have rocks laying around? And I'm like, you don't even know like the vibration I'm on with these. You don't even know the conversations we be having, the little ordeals we be dealing with. But I think it's something that at least everybody should get into. And it's a lot of Christians that even practice hoodoo and voodoo. I'm into it, but I'm like not 100%. Like I'm on my journey of learning the orishas and all of that. I think it's something that everybody needs to get in tune with. But trying to see, like 2 weeks ago, I had a conversation with hardcore Christians, and I mean like Christians, but they were so dope because they talked to me in a way that I never had a Christian talk to me before. So their grandfather owns a church. And they were like, the thing, a lot of people has lost the religion part of the spirituality and just went to spirituality, but you can't have one without the other. I'm like, tell me more. So the whole thing about it is the way that we interpret the Bible is totally wrong. The Bible has some wonderful things in there, but you have to interpret it in a way that you will understand. So I probably could go back to the Bible now and could relate because I'm on a higher frequency now. My mind is so open that I can collect the information that's needed. And also you have these churches that only give you what they want to give you. So it's like, okay, we can't go out and do this, but it's okay to do this, or we really not supposed to have piercings or wear different type of material. But I mean, it's just so much within the Bible that you really have to decipher, like Da Vinci Code. I really want to sit down and read that. I think it has something to do with the Bible. But it's just basically like taking pieces of information and really understanding it for what it is. And the way that they conversated with me, I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't mind going to your church. I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, the information that you guys could bring me, because you're speaking to me in a way that I can understand, not a way of, this is what our ancestors retrieved from slavery. Like, let's be honest. I don't want to, I'm trying to get as far away from that as possible, because look how we are today. It's nothing but trauma, hate, killing. I mean, I know tribes back in the day used to kill, but we're just so separated as a whole, like as a community. Like, we're just so separated. And I'm to the point now where I'm like, okay, have we been here before, and did we used to conversate and hang out back in 2,000 years ago? You know, like, are we being reborn and have to keep coming back to earth because we have to understand what it is? Right, we have to understand what it is that we're supposed to get. So now everybody's jumping on the spiritual journey, which is 100% good. I'm happy, but it's like people are using spells and stuff to break people up, to kill people, and it's like, now we losing it again. So now it's like, okay, it's a whole new decade now. How are our ancestors and the universe going to bring stuff to us now? Because now people are using it for bad intentions. Like, everything I do is for good intentions, perfect intentions, protection. I want to see people grow. I don't want to, if I have to do any type of spell or physically hurt you, then something is wrong. Yeah. Now, sometimes, you know, I may slack, because I'm a tit for tat person. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just no longer going to surround myself by you if I have to do that. It's time for me to move on, because I want to be at a higher elevation. I'm dealing with people that are expecting babies. You know, I need my energy to be right, and every time I actually go in within the birth, I cleanse myself. I really need to be at my best. I really need my mind to be together. The sage. It cleanses your environment. So a lot of people think you're supposed to do sage with the doors closed, windows closed. No, open your windows, because you need that energy to go out. You can, I sage like every time I leave and I come back. I sage, because it's like I've been out with a lot of vibrations and energies and people, and I don't know what swooped in my pockets or, you know, in me, so let me cleanse. I like it. A lot of people don't like the scent. I mean, you get used to it over time. It gets smoky if you use a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie. It gets very smoky, but I really enjoy it. I definitely feel like different. But I mean, you could smudge with any type of herb. You could smudge with lavender. You could smudge with it, and just it cleanses also. Like, that's what all herbs are here to do, is to help us cleanse and heal. So if we go back to nature and nurture, we good.
I did a thing with this guy. He came to one of our board meetings, and he showed us how to relax ourselves. So he had the lavender essential oil, and he had the Ziploc bag, and he put some cotton balls inside, a few drops of the lavender oil, close it up, let it marinate a little bit, open it back up. He sniffed, inhale, hold it in, let it out this side, then do the vice versa. And something, people may think, no, for real, I get what you're saying, like people may think you off, but the way I'm looking at things now, I'm thinking everybody else is off. I'm on the right track, you know, because when I do it, I feel better. It's like I'm releasing whatever pain, hurt, anger, whatever it is I got inside me. That's why I wanted you to tell my audience about crystals and sage, and I'm glad you got into essential oils. But, I mean, this has just been, I feel like we got to do a part 2. For a fact, yeah, and we gonna touch and agree on this. When we come back and do your part 2, you will have a team of people with you, and you will have your doula. You will have everything that you are desiring, and when you come back, you gonna tell people to come join your team, because that's what you're looking for. So for a fact, we touched and agree. I felt that in my shana. Listen here. The thing, man. God ain't create us backwards. We just do things backwards. But if you really focus and you hone in, people got gifts. People are born with gifts. So I'm speaking that on you, and I'm going to speak blessings and peace on us, and I'm going to speak blessings and peace on my audience. I love every single one of you. But before she get up out of here, I want her to tell y'all one more thing. I want her to tell where y'all can find her again, even though it's in the beginning of the video. I want her to say it one more time, where she can find you. I mean, where you can find her. And if you need help, where to reach her at.
So once again, my name is Tahlor with the H. You can You can find me on Instagram at the Therapy Collection. It's spelled exactly like it said. And then for the doula, it's Sina Divi Birth Services. SinaDevibirths. And Sina is actually my great grandmother's name, and my middle name is, I have her middle name, Elise, and she had 20 something kids, and I said I have to dedicate this brand to her. Are you kidding me? I never got to meet her. She came to me in my dreams, which is amazing. But definitely. But I was like, I have to name this after her. This is the legacy. Like you literally went through this many births. Like you are a ancestor. Like seriously. Email me Tahlor Mattison at thewatertherapist.com or info@thewatertherapist.com. My Sina Divi email is info@SinaDiviBirthServices.com. Yeah, that's about it. Instagram is like what I use mostly. I'm trying to see my websites. Of course, how can I forget that? thetherapycollection.info, info, and then Sina Divi is SinaDiviBirthServices.com. And was it another question? Or that was it. That's all, guys.
So thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. I know I'm so happy. I love you guys. I hope this message reached you all in peace and love and spirit and everything. Make sure y'all reach out to her. This is a beautiful individual, and she will follow up. Like for a fact. I love it. So before I go, y'all know I gotta do my little dance. I do my little dance. Yeah, that's it. That's my little dance. That's all I do. I do my little dance. I do my. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. Oh. Bring it back.
So I have a podcast with my best friend. I don't know how I forgot that. You guys can follow the podcast. It's on Apple, Spotify, and Google, and the podcast is called Virgo Banter. Now that, I'm me. I'm not, the professional. Like, I'm just speaking my mind. We both are speaking our minds. So if you are someone that just want to listen, or while you're in the car, or just, chilling, like, turn on the podcast. Follow us at Virgo Banter, BATER. And that's it. I'm done for real this time, seriously.
So because she's done for real, she got to do her little dance with me. I do my little dance. I do my little dance. I love y'all. I love y'all. See you, Rouse.